So guys, Shopify quietly released A/B testing feature natively on Shopify, and now you don't have to use any external app to test your theme functionality, to test different sections on your theme. You can do A/B testing within Shopify, and the feature name is called Rollouts. And in this video, I'm gonna give you step-by-step instructions on how you can create new A/B tests by using Shopify Rollouts. So if you want to learn, make sure to watch the complete video. Do not forget to subscribe the channel, comment on the video below. Let's get started. So guys, this is my development store, and here under markets, you will see this new feature added by Shopify called Rollouts. So Rollouts is basically for A/B testing. So if I click on Rollouts, here we can create a new A/B test. I've played around with it a little bit. So I'm going to click on create rollout. And here you can name it whatever you want. I'm going to name it by date. And if you want to add more reference, you can add it. So let's name it this and then click on save. And here click on add any change. Now here you have the option of if you want to test it with the theme section, or if you want to do that with the checkout. So we don't have much settings in the checkout available. I'm going to go over the checkout settings as well at the end of this video. First, let's click on online store theme. And here I'm going to click on edit. So you can also replace your main theme with another theme based on this feature. So you can basically roll out a new theme in the future date. But let's first test it with one section. So let's click on edit. And here you can hide, delete, or even add new section. So I'm simply gonna hide this hero section just for creating the test rollout. Now you can see that it's giving you this new icon, which is basically for the rollout. If you zoom in here, you can see that's for rollout. And here we have this option showing up below the theme as well if you click on this drop down. So I'm gonna click on save. And then let's go back to our rollout. So guys, here we have the launch range, meaning what is the percentage of change which you want to show to your visitors. So it's currently say 100%. I'm going to switch it to 50%. And this is the date and time when this test will be started. So click on select date and time. And here, if you want to launch immediately, meaning if you want to start this A/B test right now, you can simply check this mark here and it will launch immediately. Now, if you want to launch it in a future date, you can simply select the date. Let's say I want to launch it after 2 days. So I'm going to select June 16 here, right? Now let's click on done. Now, this is our live store. And this is the change when it will happen. Now, here we have another percentage that how many times we want to show this new change to our visitors. So if I select here 50%, it is going to show 50% of the time this part, which is our live store, which is our current live theme, and 50% of the time this treatment, which is the latest change which we made, meaning we removed the main section, we hide our slider. So 50% of the time it is going to display the treatment, and 50% of the time it is going to display the control. That's how it is going to work. And currently there is just A/B test. So there is no A, B, and C test. So even if I move it to 33%, you can see that it is not going to show me a different test. It is just going to change the percentage of how many times it will display the main website, meaning our A version, to the visitor, and how many times it will show the visitor this B part of the store. And below that, we have this treatment will roll back to 0%, and this treatment will be applied permanently. So the first thing is you have to decide the end date time. When do you want to end this A/B test? So let's say I have decided to make it run in 2 days. I want to end it within 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So I'm simply gonna move it to the date where I want to end this test. So let's say I want to end it by 30th June. So if I click on done, now I need to tell the Shopify that after this test has completed, do I want to go back it to the original version, which will be the treatment 0%, meaning it will go back to the live version which we have, or if I want to apply the treatment which I created. So I can either decide to go back to the 0%, the live version, or I can go to treatment will be applied permanently, meaning the B version of the store which we created will be applied permanently. In this case, I want to go with this one, which is treatment will be applied permanently. So I'm going to click here and then click on save. Okay, you can see that our rollout has been scheduled. Now let's check out the other rollout feature which we have, which is for the checkout page. I'm going to go back to the rollouts, and here let's create another rollout by clicking on create rollout button. I'm going to name it this 14 June checkout test. Again, you can name it whatever you want. Now let's click on add any change, and here select checkout and accounts. And now I'm going to click on go to checkout settings. First, we'll have to save it. Then let's click on add any change again. Click on checkout and accounts, and then click on go to checkout settings. Now on this checkout settings, you can see that we have this new option where we have configurations. Now there is currently one configuration which we have on our store. Now what you can do here is click on these three small dots and then click on duplicate. Now here we have another configuration, and in this configuration, what you can do, you can make minor changes. So we don't have much to change in Shopify because Shopify doesn't allow that, but we can still make minor changes. So if I click on edit, so you can see that this part is not editable. I cannot change anything here, but I can change some stuff in header, where I can change the position full width or checkout form, or I can change the header in logo settings, and I can also change the order summary part. So if I click on order summary, I have this option to change the background color, add image, and we have the option of changing some position on the footer policies page, right? So this is the configuration which we can change in our basic plan of Shopify. And if I go back now to my rollouts, so let's go back to the rollout, markets, and then rollouts. And now you can see this checkout test. Now what we can do here is switch the configuration of checkout based on our A/B testing. So if I click on add any change and go to checkout and accounts, now you can see that we have this option of replace your current configuration with another. So currently we have this one as a live configuration, and we can switch it to copy of development WebSense Pro configuration. So if I click on that, you can see that again, we have this option of percentage, where we can simply define our percentage. We can select date and time, just like we did when we were creating an A/B test for the theme section, right? We can do the same thing here. Now again, we can select the percentage here. And again, this is the treatment will roll back to 0% when this test ends, or treatment will be applied permanently when this test ends. So that's what you can do in checkout for the rollout setting for the A/B testing. And that's it for this video, guys. Let me know in the comments below if it was easy enough for you to understand. I know it's a little bit confusing. It's a new setting, and me and my team is still testing this with some of our client store. If you don't know, we are a Shopify partner, and if you want some free sections for your Shopify store, we have created a dedicated GitHub repository where we have multiple free sections available for you guys with copy and paste. So you can just copy those sections and play around with it. Those sections are really helpful, and those sections were built from client feedback. So we have built hundreds of stores, and based on the feedback which we receive, we built those sections for our clients and then basically open source those sections. So make sure to do check out those sections. And that's it for this video, guys. Until next video, have a great day.